This computer, yes, please. Okay, there it goes.
It seemed to have worked.
Yeah. I see we got several people here already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think it's 7, not including us.
6, 7. Yeah, I think that's right. And yeah, like I said, I don't have anything specific this week, although Dr. Chapman may.
I don't.
But I do want to give everybody an opportunity to check in who didn't last week, and also obviously to answer questions. That's the main reason that we're here. It's already 1 after, so I'll go ahead and get started. I think at least one person, Courtney, said she's going to try to zoom in a little bit later. So Dr. Chapman, if you can't hang around, I'll just sort of hang around here. I'm at my house waiting to go pick up my kids, so I can just kind of leave Zoom on and wait till she shows up. But let's go ahead and get started. For one thing, I see we've got a couple of people here who we weren't able to talk to last week as far as to get an introduction. So some of you guys, like, I don't know if you are a grad student or an undergrad, for instance. So I want to try to give everybody a chance to introduce themselves. So for one thing, for those of you who weren't here last week, I'm Blake, and I'm an entomologist at UK. I work mostly with 4-H agents and other kind of youth-related entomology stuff around the state. I also help out with the insect ID lab here on campus. And I do a lot of, in terms of this class, I do a lot of the managing Canvas, and then I do about 25% or so of the lectures. And then Dr. Chapman here, as I always say, is both the brains and the bronze of the operation. He does, especially a little bit later, once we get into some of the heavy duty insect orders, he will be doing a lot of those lectures. And you will also see, I think I forgot to mention last week, Dr. Dupuis, who does a couple of very key lectures on Lepidoptera and Hymenoptera a little bit later in the semester. He's our faculty taxonomist here at the University of Kentucky. So Dr. Chapman, if you could introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Eric. I've been studying taxonomy for pretty much my entire career. I've worked in a lot of different groups, but I've got experience doing DNA work. I do a lot of phylogenetics and systematics, and also taught the graduate level taxonomy class a few times. So really been enjoying doing this class. This class is a lot of fun. So between Blake and I, our expertise is pretty complementary. Blake knows a lot of things about various pests and certain groups that I'm not so good with, and vice versa. So our experiences are pretty complementary for this course. So anyways, I think we're Blake, do you want to lead who's going to talk next?
Yeah, I think we may have talked to everybody who's on the call this week, except for, I don't think we got to talk to Tyler Miller from Lincoln County. Can you hear us? And you might need to unmute if you can't hear us. Well, we'll try Tyler again in a minute. I mean, I saw his face a minute ago, so I know he's there somewhere. But I think we talked to everybody else, because I have everybody else checked off here. Oh, Meredith. I haven't talked to Meredith yet. Meredith from Boyd County, would you mind sort of introducing yourself? Say whether you are like an undergrad or a grad student, or if you're just taking the class as kind of unofficially, and also kind of what your job is. I think you're in extension, and sort of how this class may be relevant to you.
I'm the staff assistant at the Boyd County Extension Office. I work with the horticulture and the agriculture agent, and I'm taking the class just because I'm a little bit of a nerd, and people bring us insects all the time, and I would like to have a better understanding of what I'm identifying. And I think that's really about it. Not much. Sorry, my cat is come to visit. That's
Perfect.
it.
So you're not you're not currently like a grad student or anything like that, right?
No, I think I'm saving that for next year.
No. Oh, well, at home. Okay. Yeah. I wonder if there's some way we've talked about this about people who take it for not for credit, if they could somehow sneak a way to get it credit later. But we can talk about that
Okay.
another time. But let me put on here. I think I've got all that written down about you anyway, but I just want to make sure. Um, Meredith Hall, Boyd County. Yeah. Yeah, but what you said there as far as, people bringing you samples and you being able to help them a little bit, that's kind of what this course is all about, is trying to get you familiar with these creatures at the order and family level. So many times you can triage these things as they come in. You can 90% of the things that come in are going to be of no consequence to anyone, just some kind of spider or something. And many a times, just knowing the stuff that we teach you in this class, you will be able to quickly put someone's mind at ease. That's kind of one of our goals here. And I think I see Tyler there. Can you hear us?
Yep, I hear you.
Awesome. So
Gotcha.
if you could,
Uh-oh, hang on, you muted yourself.
I muted myself. Yeah, if you could introduce yourself, tell us whether you are a grad student or an undergrad. And also, I think you're in extension as well. If you can tell us kind of what your job is and how this course might be relevant to what you do.
Yeah, I'd be glad to. So I'm Tyler Miller. I'm a grad student. Here, I'm going through the STO program, and this is the second to last class in the fall semester. I should be wrapping things up. So I want to, I guess, thank you all for taking your summer and allowing a good class to help us students kind of speed ourselves up through this process. So that is very helpful. I am in extension, work in Lincoln County. I'm the ag agent, and so I'm also the horticulture agent. So I deal with a wide range of topics, and also am covering duties of the family consumer science agent. I grew up in Pulaski County. I live in Casey County now, and I farm, and got 2 kids and one on the way. And so far, most of my pictures have been coming from little bugs and insects and amphipods that I find usually as I'm out at home getting things done. So a little about me.
Awesome. It sounds like you're busy. Yeah, I know I've heard of some agents covering double duty before, but I haven't heard of triple duty yet. Hort, A&R, and SDS. That's pretty rough. Is that temporary or is that permanent?
It is. So we've got a lady hired coming soon, and yeah, that'll be nice having her here.
Yeah,
sure.
No kidding. Okay, all right. So yeah, like I said, most of you all are trucking right along on Canvas. It seems like everybody has logged multiple hours on there already. So hopefully that means you understand how it works, and you understand how sort of the modules and the assignments work. We want to make this class as easy and as flexible as possible. Honestly, these Zooms are probably the only thing you will have to like schedule or keep into any kind of schedule with us. A couple of things I wanted to mention. Quizzes. A lot of times in quizzes, when you guys get to the quiz, if you get something a little bit wrong, what I usually will do is I'll write a note in the little quiz thing asking you to give me another answer or expand upon your answer. And from what I understand from your all's view of the quizzes, if you try to retake the quiz, that kind of messes it up. So don't do that. Instead, just send me an answer either through the little quiz comment section or just through email, and that's fine. And I'll try to update your quiz that way. From my point of view, by the way, if you are otherwise trucking along just fine on quizzes, but you get something a little bit off, I like the idea of you getting another chance to do that, because from my perspective, that's making you do more work for the course. So that's just more work that you're doing as a way to get more points. So this course is all about point accumulation. So there's lots of different ways to get points in this class. So that, but that was a technical thing about quizzes that we wanted to address. I wanted to mention again your folders in Google Drive. I'm going to try to share my screen. And we mentioned this last time, but this is always confusing with the folders in Google Drive. And I think part of it is the way that I word it in that very first assignment where it says to build your Google Drive folder system. And I basically give you a whole bunch of classes and orders that you need to put in there. And it's kind of a difficult assignment kind of on purpose. We kind of want you to puzzle it out a little bit. But what I want to show you again, kind of what the end result should kind of look like. I'm going to go back to, if I can find it again. Kelly Jackson was a student last year. He's actually an agent as well. But he did a really good job on his folders. So your top folder should be called either ENT 520 or Phylum Arthropoda, and you share it with us. I think everybody has shared it with us so far, so that's good. But remember that these folders represent the different layers of how these creatures are related to each other, or the taxonomy. In other words, phylum, class, order, family, and then we don't go further than family in this class. But so your top level should either be called ENT 520 or Phylum Arthropoda. And so Phylum Arthropoda needs its one folder, just one folder, because everything in this class goes in this folder somewhere. But then once you open that folder up, it needs to be further organized. We don't want all of the classes and all of the orders all under this folder. The orders go in the correct classes. So each of these classes has somewhere between about 3 or 4 orders up to 25 or 29 or so orders, depending on which class it is. So try to figure out, you'll have to kind of pay attention during the lectures as to which orders go in which classes, or you can puzzle it out over the internet. Wikipedia and Bug Guide are both organized by class, phylum, class, order, etc. So if you have trouble with this, please let me know. But it's very critical that you understand the folder system, because the folder system is the same as the taxonomy. So you kind of need to understand both of those things. So those are 2 technical things I wanted to mention. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Who has any questions about anything while you are here? And Courtney is here. I see.
Yes, so sorry.
No, that's okay. You're right on time. We don't. I was telling everybody, Courtney, we're not covering anything specific this week, but we're just sort of answering questions. I think that we didn't get to talk to you last week. Is that right?
Correct. Sorry, I was on vacation and totally spaced. The classes were starting, so.
That's okay. That's what online courses are all about, right?
Yeah.
So if you could tell us, if you are, so introduce yourself, tell us what county you're in. Also, if you're a grad student, an undergrad, or if you're taking the course sort of unofficially, and then also kind of what your job is, and if this class has anything to do with like your job, or if you're just taking it for fun.
Okay. So I work for UK, so I'm an employee taking advantage of the employee education program, and pursuing a second bachelor's degree in sustainable agriculture. So technically I'm an undergraduate. I work for the Food Connection as an extension associate with food safety and GAP certifications. I just started that May 1st, so don't ask me too many questions. Let's see. I live in Madison County, very close to Estill County. Taking the class because it was suggested that it would be beneficial for my job, new job. Is that it? I think.
Yeah, I think so. And I think I've still got my screen shared here. You can see my Excel sheet of where I'm keeping track of everybody's county and what they're up to and so forth. But does anybody else have any other questions?
Oh, yes, I do. Sorry.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So just so I understand about Canvas and the modules that we have on there.
Yes.
I'm a photographer and I'm a nature photographer. So, I mean, is it noticed if I go back and watch like image editing? Because I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, I already know all this because I use Photoshop for all my editing. So
I see what you mean.
yes.
So what you're saying is if you skip a module, do we notice it or do we care?
Right.
Is that what you're saying? No, we
Right.
don't. I have no way of keeping track if you actually watch the videos.
Okay.
The only thing I can keep track of is assignments and quizzes and your final collection, which is technically an assignment.
Okay,
So yeah, if there's something you already know, and we've had people who take this class who basically already know all the bug stuff too, and they just kind of skip through it a little bit. So yeah, you can, all of that stuff is considered, however you want to deal with it.
Okay, great. I mean, so far it's very knowledgeable. I just was on the the photography editing one, and I'm like, I don't think I specifically need
Yeah,
this
you
module.
can probably skip that. Anything we talk about as far as photography or editing in this class is going to be considered a very basic because our knowledge in that is rudimentary anyway, just
Right.
enough to get people through the class. So definitely skip that if you already know it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
And one thing to think about with respect to the lectures, and a lot of the other material we've got up on Canvas, is that it's all basically a reference for you guys, so that not just during the course of the class, but if you're in a job where you're doing insect identifications, think of these lectures and materials as a resource that you can go back to and go back to multiple times if you want. So yeah, well, that's why we have them all available as PowerPoints on Canvas, so you can use them as a reference.
Yep, the PowerPoints are available on Canvas, sort of unnarrated versions of the PowerPoints, and we also leave the course up. So people who took the course 2 or 3 years ago, that class is actually still, the 2021 version of this class is still on Canvas. So those people can get back to it. As far as I know, it'll stay there until UK's contract with Canvas goes away. So you should be able to get back into this course and look at the narrated versions of the lectures as well. And then also hopefully your Google Drive will remain with you. That's something that you can keep as a tool for you forever as well. Anyone else have any questions about any of this stuff?
I have a quick question just to kind of double check.
Yeah.
So the modules are like, besides the given dates of stuff, they're kind of like at our own pace. Am I wrong in saying that?
No, absolutely. We suggest we try to break it up into 8 weeks. And then, like I said, there's a few due dates, and some of those due dates are tied in a little bit with how the lectures go along.
Right.
But otherwise, no, the modules can be done at any time. It's highly recommended, especially once you get past the introductory lessons, to do them in order.
Okay.
But yeah, at least once you get to the creatures themselves, to do them in order, because all the information builds up, and it's basically building a folder system as you watch it. But otherwise, yeah, at your own pace.
Okay, thank you. I just have a busy week this week, and I was like, I don't know if I'm okay or not. Thank you.
No problem. Just, don't get too far behind, because some of these, some of the lectures, we try to keep the lectures to under, it ends up being, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours or so of lectures a week. We try to keep it kind of small, and then we assume that you are also spending hours a week taking pictures, but don't get too far behind, because it would be bad to try to do like 3 weeks worth in 1 week. That would be tough.
Right. Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
I've got a question.
Uh-huh.
As we're I'm submitting things through PowerPoint to my Google Drive. As we do that, I know there's some assignments that ask for a certain spider from a certain family series. But as we're just collecting these photos and putting information in via PowerPoint, putting those in our Google Drive, just wait until I think it's the June 9th date that you're looking for. Just keep adding and building. You don't need to know when we put something in.
No, yeah. Anytime you would like to ask us if something is correct, or if the photo is sort of good enough or something, let us know and try to tell us sort of where it is in your folder system.
Yeah.
But otherwise, other than the handful of specific things that we ask for, I think there's like 3 or 4 where we ask for something specific. Even with those, you'll still be putting them in your Google Drive. But other than that, once it gets to June 9th or June 10th or whenever that is, at that date, let us know that you're basically done with your preliminary collection, and then Dr. Chapman and I will go through all the folders and take a look at everything.
Okay.
And see what's going on.
Okay. As I have been working on this, I thought I'd hate to get 25 slides in, and then you expect a little something else out of that. And I'd like to get started right, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's so. Are you saying you've already got a few in there?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I can send you a few folders if you
Yeah,
want.
just tell me, let me know either on email or whatever, kind of where some of those are, and I'll try to take a look at all of them, and I'll let you know if you're on the right track. So far, everything that everybody sent me as far as a picture has been basically good enough for the course. Some people have been sending me some that are a little bit low resolution. So far, I've still been able to tell what family it is. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's still good enough for the course. But it would be good to practice getting close, getting high resolution images, because that can help you sort of later on in your profession if you need to share an image with somebody or something like that. So practice getting in there close and tight. And I've been playing with my 1-year-old Samsung phone without a macro lens, and some of the close-ups that it can take are extraordinary. And you guys who've just bought phones this year, you will be amazed at what you can do with it. So get in there and practice.
Yeah, and if any of you ever have questions, you've uploaded 10 photos and you're not sure about a couple of them, their identities or something about the photos you're not sure about, just shoot Blake or me or both of us an email, and as soon as we see that email, we'll go in and check it. And if you need a hint as to maybe where to go, we can give you some hints as well if you're totally stumped on something.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And I assume we won't have class next Monday since it's Memorial Day.
Oh, is that a holiday? I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll trying to think of what I'm personally doing that day. Like if somebody just sort of wants to meet to get their required one out of the way or something like that. What I'll do is so that would be the 29th. Okay, yeah. So what I'll do is email me if you think you want to meet that day, and then I'll try to find some secondary time during that week. If everybody can just email me, maybe in the same email, tell me whether you'd like to meet on the 29th at 1:30. If you do, I will meet a day. I will meet on that time because I'll be home. But if
Me
not,
too.
please give me a secondary time or date that you might be able to do it.
Blake, I should be available that day as well.
Okay.
I wouldn't expect stellar attendance on a holiday.
Right, yeah.
But hey, if you're sitting around home and you're bored, you want to just knock off that, in-person meeting for that 2-week period, which
Mhm.
that's the first day of.
Yep.
I don't see any reason why I wouldn't be able to start the meeting if you're not available, Blake.
Yeah, the only reason I wouldn't be is if my kids drag me into something, but I should be. We don't have anything.
I'll just plan on running it,
Okay.
and if you can join, you can. Whatever, I wouldn't expect that many people are going to zoom
Right.
in on Memorial Day, but why not have it available?
Yeah, and then like I said, please send me alternate times especially if you just don't want to meet next week and don't want to worry about it and want to meet next Monday, that's fine. But send me multiple times. And also those of you who are regularly not going to be able to be here any Monday. So far, actually, I think we've caught everyone except for one person who I think might be dropping the class because they haven't seen any information yet. But otherwise, send me alternate times, and we will get everybody in here one way or the other. But otherwise, I can't think of anything else that I needed to talk to anybody about. And there's no one else who said that they wanted to meet with us today. But does anybody else have any other questions? And please ask them. As one of my colleagues says, if you are thinking of a question and are afraid to ask it, there's probably somebody else who's also afraid to ask it. So go ahead and ask if there's something, even especially this Canvas stuff, some things that might seem elemental to somebody might not be easily understood if you haven't done much with Canvas before. Goodness knows, I'm always learning new things about Canvas.
I'll say it took me all last week to kind of figure out because nothing had due dates or not many assignments did. And I was at an event last Monday. And so I started out kind of half lost, thinking, okay, where do I start? Can I start at the bottom, start in the middle, So
yeah.
I think I got it worked out.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, let us know if you can't quite figure it out. The sort of the main way to do it is just we have a little thing called Start Here at the very top of the Canvas thing. I'm going to try to share my screen again. And anybody who wants to duck out is fine. I've got you logged as attending today. But here's the first screen. Basically, just start at number 1 there, and once you start, once you actually get into one of the modules, and especially once you start one of the videos, you'll see these next buttons down here. And if you just keep on clicking next, it'll keep on trucking through the whole course. The only problem is because we don't have a lot of due dates, it doesn't keep track of what you've done. So you kind of have to remember what you saw the last time and go back to that module. But if anyone needs help getting oriented to that, please let me know. All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, I guess we'll turn you loose. Please ask questions over email, and we'll maybe see you next week, and maybe a week after that.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Blake, oh, go ahead.
Anybody have a question? I think Meredith was just saying thanks.
Okay. Do we need to discuss anything?
No, I can't think of anything. everything seems to be going well. Everybody's trucking along. That guy Tyler, he wasn't able to attend last week, so I think he was a little bit lost as far as how to get started on Canvas, but he's doing fine now.
Cool.
So he's moving right along.
Good deal. All right, man. Well, I'm up
All right,
in my
yeah. Thanks
house
for
right now,
offering
so-
to do next week. If I
Yeah.
there's especially when I have a day off and my kids are around, there's a good chance I won't even remember that I have a Zoom, even if I set
No,
alarms and stuff. So it's thanks for
Yeah.
offering to run that one.
Yeah, no problem. The following week is the week you're at Robinson Forest, is that right?
The following week, yes, I'll be at Robinson Forest.
So I'll just plan on running the Zoom meetings for the next 2 weeks.
Okay, that would be good. And I'll catch if somebody wants to do an alternate one this coming week, I'll plan on scheduling that, but I'll let you know about it too.
Well, and if you have trouble with your schedule and scheduling them, I'm happy to do it too. So,
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll let you kind of run this show here, too many chefs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, if you need my help for anything, don't hesitate to ask.
All right, I'll probably send you. Well, images will start coming in, and I'll probably need your help with that one of these days.
Yeah, shoot me an email. I'm happy to. I love looking at photos.
Yeah,
man. That's the best part of this class.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a good week. I'll see you soon.
All right, take care, man.